because there is currently a heat wave, at least in California, um, and because there are also forest fires here in California, some of you may not be in California. I know Mary is in Idaho. Um, but because of that, we're not going to do a completely heating practice. Often in this class on Thursdays, we like turn the volume up a little bit and we get sweaty and we get moving, and all of that's great in the right context. And usually we have the right context. You know, maybe a little warm outside like it was last week, but the air is fine. But when there is toxic air around us, even if you're inside, um, Mary says upper 90s too often in Idaho lately. So yeah, it's hot there too. So we don't want to do a heating practice. Instead, we want to do a more cooling practice. Not to say that we won't have a fire type experience. When I use the word fire, by the way, in the labeling of this class, I'm not talking about heat. I'm talking about transformation. And so we can still have a transformative, energetic experience, even if we're not flying around in vinyasas and flows and warriors and half moons and stuff. That's all fun, but we don't want to make things worse for ourselves. Second thing we don't want to do is do intense pranayama or breath work. Especially we don't want to hold the breath in at all. So if you have a personal practice with breathing techniques, I should say. Hopefully you all are breathing. If you don't have a personal practice, if you have a personal practice with breathing techniques or pranayama, maybe hold off on the holding of the breath for now. But there are some practices we can do and that we will do tonight that are cooling, that help to release excess heat from the body. And we won't be moving too quickly, though we might create a little bit of warmth in the body, but we won't be moving too quickly because you don't want the breath to quicken too much. So that's my caveat. It's going to be a cooling class tonight. Not to say you won't be challenged at times. You will be, maybe. You know, we have our own experiences. And last thing is whether you're in a space that's too hot or too toxic with the air or both, have water nearby. You'll need to be refreshing yourself as much as possible, especially if you feel a little bit of tingling at the throat. All right, after all of that, all those caveats, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I recommend sitting on a blanket. And actually for tonight's class, I recommend having a folded blanket or a cushion nearby. Um, any old blanket will do. And we'll bring those into our practice in a little bit. But you can sit on it for now. And we're actually going to start with a breathing technique. And if you have my book, Essential Pranayama, this is Shitkari Pranayama, and it's on page 72. The English version is the hissing breath. The hissing breath. Okay. All right, so sitting tall. Relax your shoulders down your back. Just take a couple of deep breaths in and out, just getting into your body, maybe moving the body around a little bit, shifting, just seeing what's there for you. Maybe there's some tension in the neck or the shoulders, or spine. Maybe there's something down in the hips. Aside from the muscles, maybe you're feeling some sensation in the vital organs, the belly, the intestines, the lungs, the heart. All of that sensation is very useful information. And so to set ourselves up for Shitkari Pranayama, you're going to open your lips, but have your teeth still together, kind of like you're grinning. And then you're going to take your tongue and you're going to flip the tip of your tongue up to touch the roof of the back of the roof of your mouth. So up, so the underside of the tongue is exposing toward the teeth. So curl the tongue back. Teeth are exposed, lips are wide, okay? And then holding that, take an inhale through the teeth, making a hissing sound. And then for your exhale, close the lips and exhale silently through your nostrils. And then open the lips again, teeth together, tongue flipped back. Inhale through the teeth again. Exhale silently through the nose. Let's continue. Inhale, lips open, teeth together, tongue flipped back. Exhale silently through the nose. And just continue this on your breath, feeling that cooling sensation come in through the teeth and the underside of the tongue as you inhale. And the silent exhale ensures that you keep the coolness inside of your body. If you try to make a sound as you exhale, it will be heating to the system. Inhaling through the teeth, exhaling through the nose, feeling that cooling sensation on the underside of the tongue. And saliva might be building up here, and every once in a while, go ahead and swallow that. Feeling that cooling on the underside of the tongue. As you're swallowing that saliva, you'll feel that cool saliva hit the back of the throat and into the greater part of your body. Let's continue for just a couple more rounds. One more time. As you exhale through the nose this time, just keep the mouth closed. Breathe silently through the nostrils. And feel that cooling sensation inside of your mouth. And feeling that cooling sensation ripple into the rest of your body, your throat, your esophagus. Maybe you feel some cool air in the lungs. Maybe you feel some cool saliva move down toward the belly. And as we are cooling off tonight, doing practices that help to release heat from your body. Yes, there's a physical heat here, but is there anything else that you'd like to let go of? Anything that might be heating to your mind? So emotions that might feel like maybe anger or rage. Not that those feelings are bad per se, but maybe there's some steam that can be let off from the compacting of those emotions. Maybe there's something mental that wants to be cooled off. Maybe even feeling some anxiety, anger. Maybe our practice can help to let go of some of that. So having set that intention, or at least opened yourself up to it, let's chant Om 3 times. Deep breath in. And bring your palms to your heart and lower the chin. Honor yourself as you are in this moment, your body, your breath, your energetic state, your mind, that which is aware of all of that. And it's from that place within you that we'll practice tonight. Go ahead and rub the palms together. And take the heated palms over your eyes. And brush back over the top of the head, down the neck. Bring yourself back to your space. Good. And let's come onto our backs to start, all right? Setting your props off to the side. Come on. Come and lay down. Oh, I'm not finding my words tonight. We'll make it, though. We'll make it. So go ahead and extend the legs forward as you come onto your back. Take your time if you're still moving there. Maybe roll the ankles around a few times. Maybe reach through the heels as you pull the toes back. Maybe pointing the toes away from you. Just inviting some circulation down into the ankles and legs. Deep breath in and out. And then go ahead and hug your right knee into your chest. Hug your right knee into your chest. And we'll take a few just deep breaths here, feeling a gentle stretch in the hip. And as we're feeling that, I'm going to invite you to remember through class tonight to try to keep the breath quiet, meaning not making a lot of sound on inhale or exhale. And this will help keep that coolness in the body. It means you have to relax the throat quite a bit sometimes. Good. Now go ahead and hold behind your right knee or thigh with both hands. And inhale, extend the right heel toward the ceiling. And exhale, bend the knee back into your chest. Inhale, extend the leg toward the ceiling, pull the toes back or reach through the heel. And exhale back. Again, inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. And just continue for a few more rounds on your breath. Feeling length in the back of the leg. Good. One more time. And as you extend the leg this time, go ahead and keep it extended. Pull the toes back toward you. Reach upward with the heel. And just feel length in your right hamstring, the back of the right leg. If you have the flexibility, and it's okay if you don't, but if you have the flexibility, maybe with the leg extended, draw the leg towards your chest a little bit more, but keep the right hip on the ground. Now, if that's not in your practice tonight, it's okay to stay where you were at. Deep breath in, and exhale, bend your right knee, and relax the right leg down to the floor. And then let's do the other side. Go ahead and bring your left knee in. Just hug it in to start. That gentle stretch in your hip joint. Quiet your breath. And then hold behind the left leg with both hands. Inhale, extend the left heel toward the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. And just continue moving between these two exercises. And you don't have to move too quickly. Moving quickly builds heat. And while that can be great sometimes, our theme tonight is to cool things off a bit. Extend on inhale. And exhale, bend. Two more times. And extending the leg this time, go ahead and leave it extended. Reach through the heel, pull the toes back, feel length in the back of the left leg. And you might notice that your flexibility in this hamstring is either greater or not so greater than the other side. There's asymmetries in the body, that's fine. We're just noticing it. And if you do have the access to draw the leg toward your body while keeping the leg extended, go ahead and do so. Keeping the left hip on the ground and breathing quietly, calmly. Good. Then go ahead and bend the left knee and extend it down to the floor. Feel sensation in the legs, the hips, the ankles, the feet. And we'll build on to that a little bit. So go ahead and bring your your right knee in. Hold behind the leg and extend the leg toward the ceiling again. Pull the toes back, reaching through the heel. Now this time, take your left hand, your opposite hand, and take it to the outside of your right knee or thigh, okay? Keeping your right hip on the ground, go ahead and with the left hand, draw the right leg across the body. Keep the leg extended, keep the right hip on the floor. This is not so much a twist as a stretch for the outside of the right leg. And your right arm can just hang out to the side if you'd like. Breathe. Good. Then bring the leg up, bend the knee in, and relax it down. Let's do the other side. Left leg up, extend the heel toward the ceiling. This time, reach your right hand to the outside of your left leg, around the knee or thigh. Your left arm can relax out. And then again, keeping the left hip grounded on the floor, just draw the right leg across the body and breathe. And again, this is more a stretch for the outside of the left leg. So keep the leg, or the foot, I should say, flexed. That'll help that. One more calm breath. And then inhale, come back up and relax the left leg down. Good, we're gonna feel some more sensation here. Go ahead and bring your right knee in again. Good. And then place your left hand gently on top of your left hip bone. And you're not pushing down at all. You're just reminding that hip to stay on the floor. Okay? Left hip stays grounded. And then holding on to the right knee, draw the right knee out to the side. Okay? Now, just by doing that, you might feel the tendency for the left hip to pop up. Push it back down. Good. So there's a little bit of low abdomen engagement here. You can hold on to the outside of the right knee with the right hand and inhale, extend the right leg out to the side and exhale, bend the knee, keeping the leg out to the side. Inhale, extend the right leg out and exhale, bend the knee. And just continue. And try to keep the throat soft so that the breath can be quiet. Inhale, extend, exhale, bend. We'll go for just a couple more. Good. Extend out to the side. Exhale, bend. Bring it back in. And then relax the right leg down. All right. Let's do the other side. Bring the left knee in. It's getting used to that by now. And take your right hand, and again, just place it right on top of that right hip bone, reminding it to stay on the floor. And then holding on to the left knee, go ahead and draw the left leg out to the side. And then inhale, extend the left leg out, and exhale, bend the knee. Keep the right hip grounding. Inhale, extend the leg, and exhale, bend the knee. Keep going. Notice when the breath wants to make noise, and then soften your throat. Really open up the airway. You might also have to slow down the breath. Couple more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend that knee. Come back in and relax the leg on down. Feel sensation. Just getting that lower body nice and warmed up, but in a cooling way. Creating some flexibility there so that we're not shocked into anything. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring your feet flat to the floor, heels underneath your knees, about hip distance apart. We'll start with some arm movements. We'll add the hips in just a moment. Inhale, reach your arms all the way overhead, knuckles on the floor above you. And exhale, release your arms back down. Again, inhale, arms reaching all the way up and over. Exhale, releasing down. And again, with just the arms, inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Let's add the hips now. Lift the arms just the same, but also pick up the hips. Reach your pelvis toward the ceiling, bridge pose. Exhale, release back down. Let's keep going. Inhale, arms and hips lift. And exhale, lower down. Now again, if you move quickly, you're building heat. So I'm going to ask you to slow it down. So maybe imagine that your body is moving through water, that there's a natural resistance that you're working against to lift and lower, all the while keeping the breath nice and soft, nice and quiet, nice and calm. A couple more times. Again, like you're moving through water. Good. We're going to hold it for a couple of breaths. Go ahead and lift yourself on up into bridge pose and stay. And in this posture, you'll feel the glutes engaged, the lower back engaged, the tops of the thighs or quads are engaged. But see if you can soften the belly. Can you relax the abdomen a bit here? Can you try to keep that breath soft? And deep breath in. And again, like you're moving through water. Exhale, release on down. Feeling sensation. We're going to do just a few more practices here on our back, and then we'll come up to a seat. So from bridge prep, heels underneath your knees, step your feet away from your body about 6 inches. And then take your feet about mat width apart. Now keep your feet this wide apart the entire time, okay? Arms are out to the side, connecting to your soft breath. And with your next inhale, allow your knees to fall to the right, rocking up onto the hip. As you exhale, ground your lower back to the floor and come back to center. And then inhale, take the knees to the left. And then again, exhale, ground the lower back, come to center. Inhale to the right. And exhale back. Inhale to the left. And exhale back. Continue inhaling to a side, exhaling through center. And again, like you're moving through water, don't rush this movement. Keep the breath nice and soft. And then one more thing you could add here, should you like to, is to turn the neck away from the knees. Just warming up the neck a little bit, creating some mobility. Inhaling to a side, exhaling to center. Just loosening up the hip joints, and feeling some stretch along the side body as well. And if you're moving your head, of course, the neck is also gaining some mobility, maybe relieving some tension that might be built up in one of these regions. A couple more times. And then as your knees go to the right, go ahead and stay. Relax them down. Your chin can turn to the left if you'd like. And soften the abdomen here. Soften the muscles and organs of the pelvis. And this posture, it really exposes the soft belly, vital organ area of the body. So sometimes it can feel kind of vulnerable. And for our purposes tonight, it's to allow heat in this region to escape, to kind of steam off, if you will. A lot of the heat in our body is stored here. So when we're feeling overheated, we can create some space here to allow some regulation, temperature-wise, to come to this region of the body. Soft breaths. Good, all right. Go ahead and bring your knees back to center. There's another side to do. So take your time, but take the knees to the left. Maybe the chin goes to the right. If it feels like it's too much on your neck, don't turn the head. And again, with the knees dropping to the left, relax the abdomen. Allow the heat that's stored in the belly, that's stored down in the pelvis to just steam off, to waft away. There's so many ways we could say that. But allowing that to cool down. Soft breath. One more breath here. Good. All right, y'all. Let's bring the knees back to center. Go ahead and hug them into your chest. And then from here, bring the soles of the feet together in butterfly and hold on to the shins, the ankles, or those of you with long arms can hold on to the pinky edge of your feet, but drawing the feet in toward the groin, knees going wide. And again, soften effort in the belly, in the pelvis, all of those deep muscles and organs just softening. And then from here, we're gonna come into happy baby pose. So take your right foot into your right hand, your left foot into your left hand, and then turn the heels toward the ceiling, knee staying wide of your armpits. And you're pulling down gently on the feet. So it's like the knees are kind of trying to fall to the outside of your armpits here. Good. Now, when you do this, the natural tendency is for the lower back and tailbone to roll up off the floor. So engage the low abdomen and see if you can curl the tailbone back down. And this is just engaging the low back to pull it back down to the floor. Try to keep the muscles of the pelvis and front abdomen a little softer. Not everything has to be engaged here. Often we over effort in yoga. You don't have to work that hard. All right. From happy baby pose, bring the feet together in butterfly, and then keeping the feet together, release the pinky edge of the feet to the floor, coming into reclined butterfly. Knees are still falling out wide, and turn your palms face up, your arms by your side. Let's just take a few breaths here in reclined butterfly. Supta Baddha Konasana for those Sanskrit scholars out there. And again, this is a posture that helps to release heat from the core of the body. And we know, or maybe we don't know, the heat in this part of the body is also attached to the heat in your mind. The lower three energy centers or chakras that hold mind. So just as we're releasing heat here, see if there's any heat in your mind, any releasing of a pressure valve that can happen here in the softness of the belly, the softness of the pelvis, low back, hip joints. We'll stay for a few more breaths. All right. From here, go ahead and bring the knees together and then carefully roll to your right side. And let's come on up to a seat. Whew. Finally coming up. I don't know about you, but that kind of felt good to be on my back doing some stretches for a while. Please remember to hydrate. So we're going to stay in a seat for a bit. And so I'm going to recommend that you sit on a folded blanket. I have a nice firm wool blanket here, and when I sit on it, it gives me about 1.5 inches height. And it's an extra 1.5 inches in my spine, which will make it easier to stretch what needs to be stretched. So I'm going to go ahead and sit on that. You could also sit on more blankets than one if you wanted to. But go ahead and sit tall with the legs extended forward, feet are flexed. And then go ahead and lift your arms up by your ears. Think about hinging at your hips. Lead with your heart, come about halfway forward. Then inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold about halfway forward. Inhale, come back up. Again, halfway. Inhale, rise. If you had the flexibility, let's go a little bit further, maybe 75%. Inhale, back up. Try to keep the arms up by the ears as you fold. Inhale, back up. Let's do a couple more. And then folding to your furthest point, release the hands down onto your legs. There's no need to go for the feet tonight. We're not trying to overstretch the shoulders. And allow your chin to tuck in toward your throat, the back of the neck lengthening. And just take a couple of those cool breaths here. The throat soft. And you can even imagine that heat is steaming off the back of your back. Low back, behind the heart, between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, the head. Good, all right. With your next inhale, reach your arms forward, lift with a strong back all the way up, and relax the arms on down. Okay, I'm gonna turn to face you, but you can keep staying, hanging out wherever you're at. Sometimes it's easier to demonstrate from different angles. Okay, so I'm still sitting on my blanket. And with my left leg still pointing forward, I'm gonna bring my right foot to the inner thigh, with the right knee bent. Now, when I do that, my tailbone starts to shrug under, and so I'm going to reach behind me and widen the flesh of my seat back so that I can sit tall. Don't worry, it's yours. You can touch it. It's all good. It's all good. And then sit up tall. Sit up tall, and then reach your arms overhead. Try to keep the arms up by the ears. Think about hinging from your hips, and exhale, lead with your heart, folding over the left leg. Then inhale, come back up. Let's do that again. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding down. Inhale, lift back up, strong back here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Let's do 2 more, okay? Hinging from the hips, leading with the heart, only going as far as you can without the chest collapsing. And then this time, fold over the left leg. Release the arms, the hands down by the leg or on the leg. Again, we're not going to really try to reach for the foot here tonight. Keep the left foot flexed, pulling the toes back. Calm breath. Good. Reach your arms forward with a strong back. Come all the way up. And release the arms on down. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Extending your right leg forward, bring the left foot to the inner thigh. Widen the flesh of the seat back so you're sitting really far forward on your sits bones. Good. Sitting tall. Reach your arms up. Deep breath in. Hinge at the hips. Fold over the right leg. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. And let's just keep going. You know how to do this. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Keeping the right foot flexed. And again, only folding as far forward as you can without collapsing. So in other words, keep your arms up by your ears. The second they start to fold forward, you've reached your point. Let's do 2 more. And as you fold this time, go to your furthest point, and again, relax the hands down next to the leg or on the leg. And again, your foot is not your goal here. No need to hold on to it. All right, one more breath. And with an inhale, reach the arms forward, strong back, come all the way up, and release your arms on down. All right, so go ahead and extend both legs forward again. Actually, I'm going to add something in here. Bring your feet flat to the floor. Have your arms behind you, supporting you, and keep the heart lifting. And take your feet about mat width apart or just a bit wider than your shoulders. And just go ahead and rock the knees to the left, come back to center, rock the knees to the right, come back to center. And just do that for about 20 seconds. It doesn't really need to be synced with the breath at this point. You're just kind of loosening any tension that's building up in the lower back or in the hips, because we're gonna do more stuff with the lower back. So keeping it nice and nice and cool tonight as much as possible, which means helping to relieve some of that tension. A couple more times. All right, the next time the knees come back to center, go ahead and extend both legs forward again, still hanging out on top of this blanket. Good. All right, so this is gonna be our compass. We're starting with north. You're gonna take your left leg out to the side about 45 degrees, and then bring your right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Again, reach back and widen the flesh of the seat. We're going to keep doing that. Hopefully you're used to it by now. And then we're going to do a couple of exercises here. So sit tall, lift the heart, take a deep breath in, and then with your exhale, turn your navel toward your bent knee, so toward your right knee. Your right hand go behind you to help square. And let's just take a few breaths, encouraging that twist. Lengthening on inhale, navel toward the right knee on exhale. Good. All right. So keeping the navel pointing towards your right knee, take your left hand down onto your left leg. Your right arm is going to extend out from the shoulder. And then with an inhale, reach your right arm up and over as if you were going to grab that left foot. And then exhale, come all the way back up to a tall seat. Navel still pointing toward the right knee. And then inhale, reach up and over again. And exhale, come back. Inhale, reach. And exhale back. Let's do a few more. Inhale, reach. Exhale back. And as you reach over this time, go to your furthest point and just stay. Okay, you can hold on to the leg. Some of you might have the flexibility for the left hand and arm to come to the inside. And as you're holding the posture, notice your right shoulder, this top one. And if it's rounding down, if you're looking at the floor, roll that shoulder back as much as you can, even if you have to come up from the fold slightly. Breathe, releasing heat from the right side of the body. Almost there. Good. And then inhale, come all the way up. Keep the navel pointing toward the right knee for a moment. And then we're going to take this into just a bit of a deeper twist. So take your left hand to the outside of the right knee or on top of that thigh. Sit up tall, inhale. Your right hand is on the floor behind you. Exhale, roll the right shoulder back a little bit further, looking as far back behind you as you can, working that right shoulder back as far as you can. Good. All right. Inhale, unwind. One more posture here. Hands on the knees to start. Sit up tall. With your exhale, bend your elbows and draw your heart toward the floor. Now you can keep your hands on the knees. Some of you may want to bring your hands to the floor, but keep the heart forward of the arms or keep the back flat. What you don't want to do is nosedive here. You don't want to drop the head and do one of these. This isn't helpful. You want to keep the heart lifting as you draw it forward to the space between the knees. All right. Inhale, come back up. All right. Taking both legs forward. And we will do the other side now. Hope you remembered all that. I'm kidding. I'll lead you through it. Take the right leg out about 45. Left leg or left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Widen the flesh of the seat back. We're going to work with the left knee first. So sitting up tall. With your exhale, turn your navel toward the left knee. And just take a few deep breaths, solidifying that rotation in the spine toward the left knee. One more breath. Good. Now keep the navel pointing toward the left knee. Take your right hand onto your leg. your right leg, that is. And extend your left arm out from the shoulder. With an inhale, sweep the left arm up and over as if you were going to grab the right toes. And then exhale, sit back up. Inhale, reach up and over. And exhale, sit back up. Keeping the navel pointing toward the left knee as much as you can. Inhale, reach. Exhale back. Let's do a few more. Good. So as you inhale, this next time, reach up and over and stay. And check in with your left shoulder, the top shoulder. If you're starting to look at the floor, roll that left shoulder back, open the heart toward the ceiling. And try to soften your breath as much as you can here, allowing for the heat in the body on the left side to just steam on off, cool off. Keep the left shoulder rolling back. We'll stay for 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Feel sensation for a moment. And then turning the navel toward the left knee again. Take the left hand behind you. Take the right hand to the top of the left knee. Sit up tall. Inhale. And exhale, look behind you. Roll the left shoulder back. Pull on that left knee with the right hand. Twist. Feeling the navel pull into the body, into the left. One more breath. With a soft inhale, carefully unwind. Good. One more posture here. Hands on the knees, sit up tall, inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips, draw the heart to the space between the knees. Again, hands might come there, but lead with the heart. No nose diving, no head diving here. Cool off that breath. Good. All right, inhale, come back up, tall spine. Good job. All right, extending the legs forward. We'll do another one of those rocking knees side to side thing. That's a good like intermission. I'm gonna come off my blanket for it though. Again, feet are flat on the floor, a little wider than the knees, and just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Moving slowly, just loosening up any tension in the lower back and the hips and the legs. And just breathe. About 10-ish more seconds. Time is relative. Okay, knees to center. Hop back up on your blanket if you moved off of it. Because believe it or not, there's more we can do with this alternating leg situation. So go ahead and take your left leg out to the side about 45 degrees. Bring your right foot back in again. Widen the flesh of the seat. We've been here, we know what's up. And flex the left foot. Sitting up tall, inhale. This time, turn your navel toward the straight leg. So you can just spend a couple of breaths in that endeavor. Sitting tall, inhale. Navel turning toward the left foot. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Now keeping the navel pointing toward that left foot, lift the arms up by the ears. Deep breath in. Hinge at the hips. Go ahead and fold over the left leg. Inhale back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale back up. We're going to do a few more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Good. As you fold this time, go to your furthest point and release the hands down onto your leg. Breathe. All right, we're going to stay in the forward fold. You might come out of it a little bit, and that's fine. But take your right hand to the outside of your left leg, like the outside of your left calf. Your right hand comes onto your left hand. Sorry, right hand is reaching the outside of the left leg. Left hand is on your lower back or your hip. Inhale, straighten the right arm, pull the heart away from the left leg. And with your exhale, roll your left shoulder back, pull your right chest through, and rotate and twist. Navel pulling into the body, into the left, left shoulder working back, and I'm looking back behind my head. If that's too much on your neck, you can look forward or down. And with my right hand and right arm, I'm pulling on the left leg to help get that twisting in the spine. Rolling the left shoulder back. Stay, breathe. Okay, so a couple of stages to come out. First, inhale, unwind, and come back into the forward fold over the left leg. And then reach your arms forward over the left leg. Inhale with a strong back, come up. And then unwind, navel pointing forward and release down, feel sensation. Okay. Let's do the other side. Right leg goes out 45, left foot comes in. Widen the flesh of the seat if you need to. We're getting used to this now. Sitting up tall, go ahead and turn your navel toward the right leg. And flex the right foot. I'm just spending a couple of breaths, really making sure that the navel is pointing toward the right foot. Good. Now let's do some of the folding work here. Lift the arms up by the ears. Think about hinging from the hips. As you exhale, fold over the right leg. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale up. And keep the arms up by the ears the whole time. Nice strong back. Let's do two more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And this time go to your furthest point and hold on to the leg with the hands. And we'll stay here for about 5 or so breaths. Feeling the throat soft. The breath quiet and calm. Now staying in the fold, we'll move into our twist. So left hand goes to the outside of the right calf. Right hand comes onto your right hip or lower back, depending. Inhale, straighten your left arm. Exhale, roll the right shoulder back, twist. Use the left hand and arm and pull on the right leg to get the torquing in your spine to roll that right shoulder back. Again, if it's too much on the neck to look behind you, you can look forward or down. Just a couple more breaths here. Really twist, really pull yourself through. Good. Again, there's a couple of stages to come out. So inhale, come back into the fold over the right leg. Inhale, reach the arms forward, lift yourself up. Then unwind and release the arms. Feel. Okay. Keep your right leg out. Take your left leg out as well, both about 45 degrees. And if you have more flexibility to take your feet even wider, if your hips are nice and open, you can do so, but do your best. I'm still sitting on my blanket. So holding on to the insides of the thighs or knees, sit up as tall as you can. Shoulders down the back. Become aware of your hips, hip joints, I should say. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, draw the heart into the space between your knees. And again, if you start to nosedive here, if you start to lose it, pull back up to where you can keep the back relatively flat. Now, if you're folding forward pretty deeply here, there's a couple of options for the hands. You can hold onto the legs. Some of you might be able to hold onto the feet, but don't do that if that strains the shoulders. Or you might just want to bring your hands flat to the floor in front of you and allow gravity to pull you forward. Soft, cooling breaths. Two more breaths here. And then carefully with an inhale, bring yourself back on up. Bring the legs together. All right, so we just have a few more exercises to do before Shavasana, and we're going to do those on our backs. So we're not even going to come to standing or even hands and knees or child's pose. Don't tell the authorities. We didn't do child's pose or down dog in a yoga class. All right, setting the props off to the side. Come to lay down again. Hydrate if you need to. Okay, coming to lie down, bring your feet flat to the floor, heels underneath the knees, prepping for bridge pose because we're going to do bridge pose. That's how that works. So heels underneath the knees, hip width apart. Your arms can stay down by your side, okay? When you're ready, go ahead and lift the hips into the air, reaching the pelvis toward the ceiling. And exhale, release the hips down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the hips up. And exhale, release down. This time we'll hold it. Inhale, come on up, bridge pose. Good, and you can stay here. If you want to bind this posture, you can interlace your fingers underneath your body and walk onto the sides of your arms. You might be able to press up a little bit higher. It's okay if you can't do that. And then breathe calmly here, soften the throat, soften the jaw. And while the tops of the thighs, the glutes, and the lower back are engaged, strong here, relax the abdomen and relax some of the muscles down into the pelvis, allowing the heat in this area to cool on off. And deep breath in and exhale, carefully release yourself back down to the floor. Take your arms out to the side comfortably. Walk your feet forward about 6 inches and take them wide apart as your yoga mat. We know this one. Inhale, take the knees to a side. Exhale gently back to center. Inhale, knees to the other side. Exhale gently back to center. And just keep going for a few breaths. If you want to turn the neck, you can. Chin turning the opposite direction of the knees. Inhaling to a side and exhaling back to center. And the next time you take your knees to the right, go ahead and stay. And again, there's this idea as you relax here that heat in the body is releasing. You can help that along physically by relaxing the abdomen and the pelvis. You can also imagine that any of that steam in your mind that you were trying to let go of, you can imagine that also just relaxing. If it's anxiety, relax it. If it's anger, relax it. It doesn't invalidate the emotion. We're just taking some of the pressure off of it. All emotions are welcome, but the pressure can lessen sometimes. Whatever it is, sadness, angst, fear, soften it. And then bring the knees back to center and just take them to the other side. And again, soften, soften, soften. Okay, go ahead and bring the knees back to center. And hug them in. And draw the knees in toward the chest and feel the lower back roll back down to the floor. And soften the belly, soften the pelvis. And it might feel good to rock gently on the spine here. It might feel good just to hold it all still. All right. As you feel complete here, go ahead and extend your legs down to the floor. Have your heels mat width apart or wider, your arms resting down by your sides, palms face up. Soft belly, soft pelvis, soft jaw, soft throat, soft eyes. And the eyes are closed. And just imagine any excess heat, any heat you don't need, is another way to think about it. Imagine it just steaming off from the belly, from the pelvis, or wherever you are feeling it in your body. Though we have not used this imagery tonight, one of the qualities of the moon is coolness, calmness, and receptivity, and openness. If that image helps you to soften into this idea of cooling off, bring it into your awareness now. peace, peace, peace. Keeping the throat relaxed, take a deeper breath. Take your time as you make gentle movement in your body, the hands and feet, arms and legs. Eventually rolling to your right side. And then transitioning to a seat as you feel complete here. Take your time. So sitting tall once you're in a seat. Relax your shoulders down your back and feel the crown of the head lift. And then soften the abdomen and your pelvis. Again, allowing the heat, the excess heat, the heat you do not need in this region to relax off the body and into the space around you. And we'll complete our class tonight in the same way we began with Shitkari pranayama, the hissing breath. So I'll lead you through the first couple of rounds, and then we'll practice for just a minute or two on our own. So opening the lips, but keeping the teeth together, not clenching them, but keeping the teeth together. Flip your tongue upside down, the tip of your tongue pointing toward the back of your throat. And then inhale through the teeth, slowly. You'll hear a slight hiss as the air moves through the teeth. And then to exhale, close the lips and silently exhale through your nostrils. Again, open the lips, teeth together, tongue flipped back. Inhale through the teeth. And then closing the lips, exhale silently through your nose. And continue, Shitkari pranayama. Feeling that coolness on the underside of your tongue, on your teeth, the saliva in your mouth cooling. You can swallow it if you want to. Feeling that cooling sensation at the throat and into your body. Continuing Shitkari for just a few more rounds. And as you finish this next silent exhale, keep the lips closed and breathe quietly through your nose. Feel the cooling sensation in your mouth. And then allow it to expand, that cooling sensation, either mentally or physically into the throat and into your body, up into your head, the center of your brain, and feel some of that excess psychic heat, mental heat, the heat you don't need. Feel that relaxing and cooling on off. All right, so taking a deeper breath, go ahead and bring your palms to your heart and lower your chin and honor that coolness within you, that ability to release excess heat physically, energetically, psychically, bringing your body into equilibrium, bringing your mind into equanimity, and honoring the ability to do so. May all of your effort here tonight and this practice continue to serve you. So until next time, namaste.